it's 2024. If the LIV golfers were presidential candidates, who would you trust to run the country?
That's such a... Oh, that's a pigeonholed question. All right. Shoot, I don't think any of us are smart enough to do that. There's so much that goes on with that. I don't think any of us have the right to run the country. I'd love to help in some capacity, but shoot, running it, there's so much that goes on. We're just golfers.
Well, in the same vein, let's say you were stuck in the middle of the road in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., you need help.
Oh, yeah.
Which LIV golfer are you calling first for help?
Oh, Charles Howell. Charles Howell would be the best person to pick up the phone and call. He's going to answer, and he's going to give you every scenario in which to make it make sense and figure out how to get you out of there. Yes, absolutely. I got you. No problem. We're going to yes, we're going to do this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think when you have guys that you genuinely care about, those moments out there with 3 or 4 holes to go, we're all pulling for each other. You can't replicate that. That's a feeling that only friends really get. Teammates is a cool thing, and of course you're playing for your team and all that stuff. But wanting to win as friends is almost cooler.
My wife won't be happy knowing that my ring will have more and more gold. But yeah, no, I feel like it's pretty special. It's a little different than other trophies. So yeah, I mean, it will be pretty cool to have an extra ring.
John?
I'm trying to picture what it looks like right now, and I can't get that in my mind. So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but honestly, who cares what it is as long as you're the one that has it, right? That's, I think, what most of us would be thinking.
I think this one just meant a little bit more. For the last few years playing John, and obviously he got the better of me at Augusta, and so yeah, I just wanted to beat him, and I mean he played phenomenal today. The way he finished down the stretch was pretty clutch, and it was fun to watch him this week.
Yeah, being able to come here and bring the professional golf at the highest level to different parts of Asia. It's here in Singapore, we've been to Hong Kong, went to Thailand a couple years ago. It's a huge part of the growth of the game. I grew up being able to go out and watch the PGA Tour players in my backyard growing up in San Diego, and it was something to be able to see the best players play and be inspired to try to get out there is a very big part of dreaming when you're a kid.
Can't miss it a millimeter behind the ball or a millimeter too close to the ball. From 60 yards with an open face, it's an explosion shot, and if you catch it just a little thin, I'm hitting into that clubhouse. There is no room for error. Very, very little room for error. And for it to even go that far out of a bunker takes a pretty darn good amount of strength. And, if I chunked it too, it's short, hits the front edge, and comes right back down. And so now I'm trying to get up and down just to get into a playoff, right? So the difficulty was through the roof, and it's something that I never wish anyone to have that experience.
I love this place. I love these people, and so thankful for to everyone for what we're able to achieve today. And I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think that if the soccer team wins tonight, it could be probably one of the biggest days in the history of Spanish sports. I would say. I mean, Alcaraz winning, us winning both individually and as a team, and then the national team winning the Euro Cup. I mean, it would be amazing to have all those 4 things happening the same day. It would be amazing.
I'm pretty tired, to be honest, and we have to go to the LIV event tonight from 7:30 to 9:30, and then I'm pretty sure me and Mama are going to go back to the room and just hang out.
Sounds great.
Go to bed.
Caleb, as kind of the resident country music fan, does Terrell look the most like a country music star?
He comes in after the U.S. Open, and instead of coming out of the golf course, he goes to downtown Nashville for 2 days, and we're seeing pictures of him in, the T-shirt and, the hat, and I told somebody that, like, if this guy was walking down downtown Nashville, you'd never know he's a professional golfer. So, yeah, if that answers your question. But, yeah, you can pull it off.
It's a different accomplishment because it's not just 1 week, right? Can't really compare anything to majors, right? And the sport that we live in. But being able to win the season-long race in 2 out of the 3 big leagues and having almost done it on the PGA Tour as well, it's a different feeling, right? Just being able to culminate all the good golf all season, and especially doing it by winning individually today, I think is what makes it so much more special, right? Knowing that I had to win and getting it done is something to really be proud of and something to reflect on. And I always, when I get to a point like this, I always think about the amount of work that a lot of people have to put in for me to get to this position, right? And how thankful I am for everybody around on my team. I mean, it all starts with my wife, because without her support, it wouldn't be the same.
Aspect, I just think it's awesome how we can get together, come together, and when people are struggling, when teammates are struggling, you can lift them up, pick them up. That was a big thing last year. I was struggling pretty badly, and Ed, Paul, Charles, and Bond just kind of get right next to me and be like, dude, we're going to figure this out. Like, let's go. And they even came out and helped me on the driving range and trying to figure out my golf swing and whatnot. I can't see this any other way. This is just the coolest thing that I've ever experienced in professional golf.
You see in the paper and reading it is one thing, but actually coming out here and living it and seeing the growth over the years and the growth of people around us buying into it, and I think you're going to enjoy this week too. Competition is real, and there's a different element, not just the individual, it's the team aspect, where on Sunday all 4 balls count now, and it's a lot of drama out there on a Sunday.
So that moment when you're walking down 18 and the fans are all behind you and it's, like a scene from, one of the world's biggest golf events, what did that feel like?
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I mean, I was terrified over that wedge shot, to be honest, because it's like it's a really tough shot. I need to get it over the tier, but not go into the back bunker. And, I've got, 10,000 fans in the fairway kind of right on top of me. And so, fortunately, all the work that I put in over the offseason with Phil in his backyard and all the help that he's given me, it really paid off with that shot specifically.
What can only be described as a storybook ending with the playoff and everything that went into it. Cam, how are you feeling right now?
He's flabbergasted.
I am flabbergasted, actually. It's
I think we're all flabbergasted.
yeah, it's I think we're all exhausted. It's been a very long week, and for it to end the way it did was, like you said, a storybook ending. It was so cool. All the boys played really well. I think we all finished in the top 12 or 13 or something. Which is something we probably haven't done as a team before. So that's pretty cool as well, for everyone to show up at our home event and play really solid golf. So, yeah, I think we're all ready for a beer and a long sleep.
Phil, it's been 20 years since your first Masters victory. When you think about that, what comes immediately to mind? Is there a moment, or a memory? And how much did it helped to get the narrative about success in the major championships vanish that day?
I think that, first of all, the photographer did not get me at the apex and didn't do it justice.
It was the slopes.
But I've thought that for 20 years, and then I tried to recreate it, and I realized, well, maybe he did get me at the apex. So
I felt like there was a missing hole in the game of golf, where you look at guys like Mr. Beast or David Dobrik or whoever it is that are influencing a lot of people in the world. And I saw that market back in 2020, and I said, man, if we could if the golf industry, if golf could tap into that just a little bit, how many more followers we would get, how many more players we would get, how the game would just explode if we could just barely tap into 1% or a couple percent of that. And the possibilities that come with garnering that type of audience is so unique that I thought it was
not only important but necessary.
Start by just saying welcome home. Lee and Ian, you guys are considered England's most celebrated players. You guys have a combined 61 professional wins and 18 Ryder Cup appearances. How does it feel to be back in UK playing in front of your home crowd this week?
Well, the way you've said that, it feels like we're pretty old, to be honest. No, you know, whenever we have the opportunity to come and play in front of home fans, and especially this week, extending the tickets to 14,000, should be, you know, awesome for us. And you know, we don't play enough golf over here, so when we do, it's pretty special.
I don't blame anybody but myself for the issues that I've had. With that being said, I was thrown into a situation because I had some success in golf that gave me different opportunities than a normal 23 or 24-year-old. And I took advantage of that. And once you get going down that slippery slope, it's hard to make your way back. And unfortunately, I just kept going downhill, and somehow I've made it through. And I'm sitting here in front of you just feeling really honored and blessed to be here, because there's a lot of reasons I shouldn't be here right now.
I said coming into the week, standing right here, that if we were to win, I don't know if I could do the champagne because the underage.
That's awesome. What are you guys going to do to celebrate?
Oh, probably just quiet night. Just go to sleep. Couple of Diet Cokes and be off to bed.
Bit of packing.
It has that feel of like first day at school. So yeah, kind of feel like I'm finding my feet a little bit, but yeah, that will take a bit of time, but excited to be here and looking forward to get started on Friday.
We've got Abe, who's good friends with Mark Wahlberg. Surely we're going to see an Abe and Mark Wahlberg 4-hole, 5-hole challenge. Get out there. What's the idea?
That's a good idea. I mean, now that you mention it, I think we should definitely make it happen.
I'll do the
The only thing is that Mark plays extremely fast, so we got to be almost sprinting to our balls. It's a little bit crazy the way he plays golf.
The last 3 days have been wild. Overwhelming gratitude. Just a lot of thanks from everybody. The support and the care that everybody has shown me and brought to me, and the love that they've shown me has been inspiring. It's what keeps me going. I've been running on probably like a cumulative total in the past 3 days, like 12, maybe 12 hours of sleep, maybe. So you guys are the reason why I keep going. And it's been fantastic.